Hey everyone, Jamie here. Welcome to this week's video where I am going to talk about memory decks. Heidi Swapp Memory Decks collection has been relaunched and is brand new. And not only that, but March is National Craft Month, so I needed to celebrate. And I am celebrating with what I'm calling hashtag 30 days of memory decks. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So far, I have about 7 cards. I actually have a few more than 7 cards made because I had to pre-make some for a couple of assignments and photo shoots. So I'm going to show those to you today and talk about each one and what I have done to make them and craft them. So thank you so much for joining me. So to start, I'm using the black spinner that is now available and is starting to ship to stores and whatnot online and in box stores. And I have this first card here is the pink polka dot is a memory decks card. It comes as a memory decks card set. So you're going to see those throughout. But for the most part, one of my rules was to use Emerson Lane. The Heidi Swapp Emerson Lane collection is highlighted so far on all these cards. And I liked sticking to one collection. And so that's what has happened here. So you can see the card. That is really pretty pink polka dot. And then next to the card, I have popped up a label. And that label is part of the Emerson Lane sticker, cardstock sticker. And you're going to see that a lot on these cards. I use those quite a bit. I've always loved labels. The Choose Happy is from the ephemera pack. And then the gold foil vellum is a specialty paper that's part of that collection. And very often through these cards, I have trimmed those out. And I finished my card here off with stamps from Emerson Lane. This next card has been punched out using Emerson Lane pattern paper, and there are dies that have been relaunched, and so I use one of the memory decks dies to cut that out. And you can see I used more ephemera, that's gold foil, another label obviously, and I wanted to highlight here and show you what the cardstock stickers are that I'm using. This is a great set. This whole back panel is all labels. And so I use those quite readily on these cards. And so I think that's a great item to pick up there. So there's the label there. And the heart that I popped up, I think is actually from Paige Evans. And then just a notched scrap of paper to finish it off. And it's stapled there on the edge. And this next card, Hello Today, is also another actual memory decks card, but I just love so much how Emerson Lane goes with the cards that come in this pack. So it's already pre-cut and already has a tab, and it's just ready for you to embellish. So I added some butterfly. It's an old die set I have from Stampin' Up. You can use any digital cut file. I used that die cut and then another sticker from the sticker pack. The Choose Happy is from the sticker pack as well. And it's all gold foil. And then I have still this old school Martha Stewart butterfly punch. I love that punch. And so it found its way on here as well as some stamp work from the Emerson Lane acrylic stamp set. Next is another card punched from Emerson Lane pattern paper. I think I'm going to show you here. Yeah, here's one of the dies. I don't have the one that actually looks like that on my table right now. I love that little diagonal pink stripe paper. You're going to find that a lot here on these cards. I used a cut file to make the heart, as well as Paige Evans cut files called Folk Art Flower Group. Also comes with the leaves. So I use pattern paper to make that little set. The Love Life is also part of a pattern paper. It's this cute pattern paper that has all these cutaway phrases in it, and you're going to see those come up quite a bit in these cards. Today sticker also from the cardstock sticker set. Next card is also on a pre-made memory decks card, and that pattern I just thought was so pretty to fit with the theme I had going here. I die cut more pattern paper into a heart. Actually, it was a digital die cut. Cut file is what I want to say. And then popped it up with dimensional tape. The vellum there is from the ephemera set from Emerson Lane. There's more cutaway pieces there in that number 1, as well as the happy memories and the everyday. Those are, again, are from pattern paper. So you go a long way, even just with pattern paper, to make these cards. And so I really love this one. This one is probably one of my favorites. And then gold splatters for the win. The next card, also punched out from pattern paper, and I'm showing off all the layers here. That tag is from the ephemera, and then a layer of a die cut from the ephemera. The Cutie Bingo card is from, I believe, the 6x6 paper, the cutaway paper. And just to stress the edges a little bit, this vellum tag is part of the ephemera. It's super sweet and feminine. And the Just Have Fun, I took it off and notched it from the cardstock sticker set. And so everything, like I said, is mostly all Emerson Lane, but like those leaves from a cut file, I cut them from watercolor paper. So there'll be some extra elements just depending on what I find from here and there. Next card is another favorite, also a Memory Decks pre-made card. Lots of layers, just like everything else. One of my rules was Emerson Lane was going to be used. Another one of my rules was I wanted a lot of dimension and a lot of pop-up techniques. And so those were 2 of my driving forces in making these cards. So there's a tag from my stash. That washi tape is from Handmade by Heidi washi kit at Joann. More gold foil flowers, fancy cut. The black and white stripe tag is part of the ephemera set, as is the Love die cut. And stamp, the everyday stamp is finished off using the acrylic stamp set. And I love to have to add here the Baker's Twine, a super sweet addition to all this collection and all the patterns that are happening here. Next card is probably my favorite card, punched out of pattern paper, and I used again a label from the sticker set. There's 2 labels there actually, the pink circle and the black and white stripe. The flowers are a Paige Evans cut file. I just made them super tiny and rolled them, and I think that's one of the reasons I love this card so much, is just how pretty that 3 set of rolled roses turned out on this card. And I actually ended up hot gluing those just for a lot of security. The Fall in Love with Many Things as Possible, that belongs to Tim Holtz, the Occasion sticker set. Great sticker set. I use that over and over again. It's like I can't ever use them up. And here I am talking about the flowers a little bit more. Super pretty, super delicate, a super simple card actually. And hopefully you're seeing here too, I'm not necessarily recreating the wheel from card to card. I'm going back in with some of my tried and true elements that I just love so much. And that is kind of how I roll in all of my creativity. This card's slightly different, but same thing. I've stamped the top tab. The one has details. This one says documented. It's from the acrylic set. It's a great set, by the way. Just some great words in there. And I'm just pointing out how I try to make sure all my tabs were in different places. I didn't want everything lined up perfectly. I wanted a lot of layers to be poking up from my spinner, and I think I've been pretty successful with that. More vellum leaves, and the envelope there in the middle is another Paige Evans cut file, and I shrunk it way down. It has a pretty scallop on the edge. That pink and white diagonal is really pretty against the pattern of the yellow and pink floral. And you're going to see here, I'm going to point out here the label that's behind. It's a cutaway. It's not from the sticker set. It was from one of the pattern papers. I cut out that label to kind of have a foundation for everything. And then on top of that, I put the envelope. And then you're going to see right there in the middle is the wax seal. And what I did is I did the wax seal on a piece of parchment paper so I could lift it off. And then when I lifted it off, I layered it with baker's twine, the Hello gold foil sticker from the sticker set, and that details is also from a piece of pattern paper. And then once everything was in place, I hot glued the seal back on top. So it looks like that just kind of helped me protect against any possible errors. And there's a floral stamp there right in the corner that's from the acrylic set as well. So that is how that card worked itself out. I hope you've enjoyed this flip through of my memory deck spinner. I've had a wonderful time so far getting creative every day. And I want to invite you so much to join me at jamiepate.com on my Instagram feed, and I will see you in the next video.